That's right, I'm back and better than ever. No, not really. Not better than ever. Not physically, at least. I'm still in a lot of pain and I want to go to sleep. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go check out my community posts over the last week. For the last week or so, I've been out of it. Literally. That means I didn't get to make a video review of The Mandalorian Chapter 23 like I wanted. I watched the episode and thought it was amazing. I just didn't have the time to complete the video. I tried to stay away from other YouTube videos pertaining to it, but sometimes you just can't help but see titles like, I know who the spy is in The Mandalorian and I will prove it, with thumbnails suggesting it's Costco Reeves and the Armorer or either or. I would literally shake my head at these things. Look, I don't get every theory or speculation right that I come up with. It's the nature of the business, but I at least try to use clues presented to make a case for it, and I don't try to discredit a character just because I want them to be sus. In the case of Costco Reeves and the Armorer, there were no clues at all. Sorry, I just thought it was a bit ridiculous. Yes, the episode was titled The Spies, and to me, the spy referred to was Elia Kane. Mandalorians have a code of honor that hasn't been broken to suit the needs of another entity since Gar Saxon. Mandalore was then united, and Gar Saxon's forces were eliminated. No one would be stupid enough to try that again. Also, Paz Vizsla and the Armorer were close. He would have at least known of the plans and not sacrificed himself. Nope, the whole trap was set up by a cunning adversary. That's all. And I never thought Moff Gideon had ties to Maul in any way, formerly Darth Maul. His Beskar armor represented his internal feelings of seeing himself as the next emperor, noted the crown. Not to mention, I was bombarded on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord with messages all saying the same thing. Did you see the Armorer betrayed Din Djarin? Like they were trying to throw something in my face that I had said before, that the Armorer was honorable. And just before I went into the hospital, I told my wife, uh-oh, looks like someone came up with another bad theory. She told me to shut up about Star Wars and concentrate on not dying. Sound advice in hindsight. As a side note, stick around to the end of the video to hear a special message from me to you. Okay, I'm done talking about what everyone else thought of The Mandalorian Chapter 23. Before I move on with the rest of The Mandalorian Chapter 23 and the finale, a quick word from our sponsor. Yes, it's me. And it's so good to be back, even in limited capacity. I know my voice sounds all weird, but you're going to have to get over that. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a big stupid thumbs up. I'm on a voyage to be the biggest and best Star Wars YouTube channel around, and I'd like you all to be a part of that journey. I know every freaking YouTube channel asks for your subscription, but mine's special. Why? Because it's freaking Star Wars, baby, and I just cheated death. But I absolutely promise to deliver on my word. With me, you'll get the best Star Wars content YouTube has to offer, and I'll deliver it in a way that's fun and engaging. And it's all original content, no rehashes of what other channels talk about. If you're looking for someone to bore you to sleep, I'm not that guy. But if you want to have fun and party like you didn't die over the last week, welcome home. Yeah, I'm going to drive that one into the ground. Okay, let's get back to The Mandalorian. First off, let me apologize for the video not matching every single thing I'm talking about. I'm really working hard to get through this so I can go rest and recover. Here it is, The Mandalorian Season 3 finale, an episode we've been waiting to see for weeks. An episode that would bring all the questions we had to a close. For me, I was expecting something different than the previous two season finales. Why? Because the whole freaking season has been different. Why wouldn't the finale be different as well? Well, it was. When The Mandalorian Chapter 23 ended, some people thought, man, we need Luke Skywalker to show up, or Boba Fett will show up with his scooter puds to save our Mandalorian heroes. I didn't think that. I saw those comments on Instagram and other social media. I had hoped none of those things would happen for the sake of the characters to finally prevail without a deus ex machina. And they did. They pulled a victory right out of their asses. I thought this season was very well made, from the writing, the directing, the enhanced special effects, and even the acting. This season was my favorite. I don't want to recap everything that happened in this episode because you've probably watched it, and every other YouTube channel will recap it for you if that's what you want. I went into this episode with a mindset that none of the characters were safe, that this was a Game of Thrones Star Wars show that would likely hurt me deeply if I let it. So I prepared myself for the deaths of Bo-Katan, Kryze, and Din Djarin, and even Grogu to an extent. No, I didn't expect them to die, but I was just preparing for it, because you never know. Then, when the base exploded, I thought, nah, they aren't dead. They lived through this much of the battle, it would be wasted to kill them off at the end of it. But how crazy would it have been if Moff Gideon and his Praetorian guards killed Din Djarin, Grogu, and Bo-Katan Kryze? I mean, this guy would have been unstoppable at that point, and no, I don't want to hear comments that Moff Gideon was a clone. That the real Moff Gideon sitting back sipping Alderaanian wine in the comforts of slippers. It was him. He's dead. I don't know why we keep trying to cheapen a victory by claiming the villain lived. Or downplaying the emotional weight of a death scene as by saying there's no body, that means there's no death. Sometimes people die in these stories and they don't come back. And sometimes stormtroopers hit their marks. Here's a part that I'm sure to get some hate for. I like how certain elements of the sequel trilogy are being introduced into The Mandalorian. In The Last Jedi, the Praetorian Guards were some of the coolest designs I'd seen in a while. I thought they were wasted on merely a throne fight scene. By putting them against the two heroes of a story, there isn't much danger presented in The Last Jedi. But by having them kill Paz Vizsla, then nearly kill Din Djarin and Grogu, it shows us why these assholes are the elite guards. We already saw that Death Troopers could easily be beaten, as well as Dark Troopers, if you have a lightsaber and know how to crush things with your mind. Now let's get something going with the Knights of Ren outside the comic books. Back in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, I said that Rick Famuyiwa deserved his own Star Wars series. And after watching the 3 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 3 that he directed, I can't say it enough. Make him the showrunner of a Star Wars show. The Book of Boba Fett Season 2, anyone? A lot of people say it should be Bryce Dallas Howard. And while her installments are good, I just feel like Rick Famuyiwa is next level. He doesn't do things for fan service and limits cameos to what's actually needed for the story. Not, surprise, here's Luke Skywalker for that ass. And you have to respect someone who can tell a story without using tried and true methods like cameos and Easter eggs. But everything isn't sunshine and ponies as far as The Mandalorian Season 3 goes. There were some things I would have liked to have seen, but were never touched. And maybe they will later, but we'll see. The first is the episode count and lengths. Tony Gilroy proved that 12 episodes of 40 to 55 minutes in length is doable in the Andor series, and enjoyable. The episodes in The Mandalorian Season 3 were too short and sometimes felt rushed. Adding 4 more episodes would have also helped expand on some of the characters. When The Mandalorian movie comes out, can we only expect an hour-and-a-half runtime? We know they won't fly with the Star Wars fandom. Even Solo, a Star Wars story, was 2 hours and 15 minutes long. I'm sure The Mandalorian has enough interest and material to have a runtime that would rival Avatar: The Way of the Water. Another thing 4 more episodes could have done is give us a bit more backstory into Din Djarin's origins. His parents. Don't tease us they were Guardians of the Whills, then say nothing else about it for 2 seasons. I didn't have this next complaint, but I know others did. The focus of The Mandalorian Season 3 seemed to be on Bo-Katan, Kryze, and not Din Djarin and Grogu. I disagree with that. While there was a shift on focusing on other characters, it was necessary to show the larger arc of the Mandalorians as a whole. I've said it since The Mandalorian Season 2, early on. Din Djarin has no interest in leading the Mandalorians. Showing he's going to be the leader would have been stupid. He's more of a loner, someone who helps out until his help is no longer needed, then he moves on, which is exactly what he's done in The Mandalorian Season 3. And in the end, he and now Din Grogu have moved on to enjoy the life they had as lone travelers, still belonging to the Mandalorian culture, but off doing what Mandalorians do best, bounty hunting. Din Djarin will become an important character in driving the Imperial Remnant to the unknown regions, but for now the story of Lone Wolf and Cub continues, with more satisfaction in knowing he has a real home to return to when he's ready. For a long time, I've been saying the Darksaber needs to be destroyed. A lot of people didn't agree with that, but here we are. Now, a leader can shine without needing a symbol that has divided Mandalorians for a very long time. That doesn't mean I wasn't sad to see it crushed. I absolutely was. I love the Darksaber. And before I stop talking about the Mandalorian, I'm really confused why anyone is saying that Grogu will tame and ride the Mythosaur, or even Din Djarin. Scratch that. Why does anyone think any character will ride the Mythosaur? That isn't the prophecy. The prophecy states that the rise of the Mythosaur will herald a new era of unity among the Mandalorian people. Nothing about riding the damn thing. Sure, Mandalorians rode them in the past. That was what also contributed to their almost extinction. For all we know, this is the only Mythosaur remaining. Why pull it out of its sanctuary to ride it? Besides, leadership and unity have been established. I was right, it was Bo-Katan and Kryze. For now, what further needs to be done, and why would Din Djarin and Grogu pop up and say, "Looky here, we're the true rulers because we can ride a Mythosaur"? The Darksaber was destroyed as a literary device because symbolism doesn't make a great leader. The Mythosaur being rode will only bring back that symbolism and cause the story to go backwards. So please just stop. Maybe Din and Grogu will rule one day, and maybe even Boba Fett will, but it won't be some farcical aquatic ceremony that dictates who leads. That's all I have for this breakdown for today. I'll probably make a ton of Mandalorian videos for a while as I rewatch each episode with a microscope. So stay tuned for that. But now, something for you. As far as what's happened to me over the last week, there were moments I didn't know if I would make it, and even moments I didn't want to. This wasn't just a feeling I had, but it was confirmed by doctors. I was very lucky to make it through the first surgery and the first night. There were moments when I would lose hope and wanted to just give up. The pain was unbearable, and I just was putting stress on my family. But with the encouragement I was receiving from all of you and my family, I made it. True, I'm still not 100%, probably not even 50%. But I'm through the roughest part. But I wouldn't be this far if it weren't for you. I even had a moment where I broke down and lost it to the surgeon. When she told me she had to reopen my incision to clean out the infection without anesthesia, I just cried and said, I shouldn't even be here, that I didn't cause any of this. But I took it. I laid there in so much pain as she opened my incision and began scraping it out. As I was holding my pillow over my face and screaming and crying, my wife was holding my hand. I knew I had to get through it for my family and for all of you. The very next day, I started seeing an improvement. My white blood cell count started dropping, my fever went down, and I was able to use the bathroom on my own. Why? Because of you. Your prayers and well wishes didn't go unheard. I appreciate all of you so much. You've now seen me at my lowest, and still here you are cheering me on. I don't deserve you, but I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much. This sort of thing means the world to me. I promise to do something with this gift of life you have all given me. Before I go, another quick from our sponsor, me. Yeah, I'm back, baby. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. I'm really trying to be the biggest and best Star Wars YouTube channel around, and I'd like you all to be a part of the next phase of this channel. The YouTube algorithm is more difficult than trying to figure out why we can't all just enjoy Star Wars with the mind of the children we were when we got into it. But together, we can conquer this YouTube algorithm. The other part, yeah, probably not as much. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars community should be the only way.